In 2020, we bought a rundown motel in the mountains and we moved there with our family with the goal of fixing it up. We transformed it into the Rex Hotel where I'm standing right now. And over the last 3 years of running it, we've learned so much. It's generated life-changing income for us. It's entered us into the hospitality industry and opened up so many doors. And it's also given us a new sense of purpose. Come along with me and I'll show you what I mean. You should have seen this place before we bought it. This area out here was where the dumpster was. It was basically a junkyard. And we transformed it into the center point of the property. So it's like a courtyard-like feel now. We actually flipped all the doors around too. They were on the outside of the building, and now we put them on the inside facing this beautiful garden. All right, let me show you unit 10. This is one of my favorite units because it's one of our separate cabins. And it's got a really nice look and feel to it. It's a 2-bedroom. And it's also where I want to tell you about one of the lessons that we learned about starting a hospitality business. So at the Rex Hotel, we have 10 units, and that might seem small, but there's a lot of opportunity in small properties, and that's something that we learned after buying this. There's also a lot of opportunity in smaller units, but not too small. This is one of our best performing units because it has a full kitchen, it has a separate bedroom for a bunk room, and it also has a king-size bedroom. So it's great for families. But believe it or not, this is only about 500 square feet, and the entirety of our property is under 7,000 square feet. So yes, it is small, but that doesn't mean that it can't be a huge opportunity and generate a lot of revenue. One of the things about small properties is that they're too small for bigger developers to get interested in, but they're also too big for smaller developers that might be used to doing single-family Airbnbs. So buying a 10-unit motel was a really great opportunity for us because it hit our sweet spot of being able to redevelop it and launch specifically a brand. And that's really the benefit of small properties, is that even though they might be smaller than, say, a big resort, they actually have a lot of appeal to a developer like us because we're able to actually do something with it and create a really great experience from something small. So let's do the math. We have 10 units, and even though that might be on the smaller side, it actually has a lot of potential when you have a high enough average daily rate, the ADR. And so for us here at the Rex, we have over $300 ADR. And that means that on any given night, if we're full, we're making over $3,000 per night at the Rex Hotel. For larger developers, that might not really scratch an itch. But for us, we're able to use that $3,000 and reinvest it not only into this project, but other properties as well. So we've used the Rex, a small motel, as a stepping stone for bigger and bigger projects. So sometimes people ask, who would want to stay at a place like this? And to be honest, it's a lot of people that want to get out of a city. They want to get away for the weekend. It's either couples that are coming to escape and go hiking on the trails, or it's families that just want to have a place that's not an Airbnb, something that's a little bit more reliable, has a great reputation, has a brand behind it, has, you know, clean linens, and they know that they can expect quality because of that brand expectation. And that's why this really works for a lot of people, because there is a disconnect in the market between larger hotels and smaller Airbnbs that isn't filled, and a small property with a great brand fills that niche. So although we lived here during renovations, we knew that we didn't want to have to be here all the time or even live nearby. So we really put a lot of technology into this property to make it be able to be run remotely and also have a great guest experience. Let me show you what I mean. Every guest, when they make a booking here at the Rex Hotel, they get an automated email and text. Seems pretty simple, right? But all of that triggers a sequence of events that gives them automated texts that give them all the details about the property, also giving them the access code to their rooms. So that's a unique access code that's changed every single stay automatically by the system. The lock system that we use is Yale, and then the actual software behind that is called Aperto. So I'm able to check in and out remotely, and I don't ever have to see anybody. And if I need somebody though, they're only a text or a call away. Even though it's invisible service, it certainly doesn't mean that it's no service. And that really is what sets apart an Airbnb experience from a hotel experience. So we want people to feel like they're able to actually have hands-on help and approach, but not have to be babysat. So that means that the check-in, check-out process is digital. When they check out, we get notified, so then we can send our cleaner. Everything that we do is done to be super, super easy for the guest. That also means that when we did the renovation, this place did not have Wi-Fi, by the way. It was from 50 years ago and barely had electricity. We put in Wi-Fi routers to every single room. Yes, every single room has their own Wi-Fi device. And that means that the internet's great here, people can work remotely. It means that we have smart TVs, so we didn't have to invest in cable or anything like that. So even though this seems maybe a little bit lower end, A great Roku TV these days is really what people need. People can check in, they can log into their accounts, and they can watch whatever they want. So internet, digital TVs, things like USB chargers by the beds, all of these details go a long way and make for a modern mountain experience is what the vibe that we wanted to go for. So the other elements of our tech stack is our property management software, which is called Cloudbeds. Cloudbeds is where all the bookings come into. It's what's on our website. So all the direct bookings that we get can be basically routed through Cloudbeds, as well as anything else coming in through the online travel agents, the OTAs. So although we have most of our bookings, and I'm talking like 95+%, come through staytherex.com, we still have some things coming through Expedia, booking.com, Airbnb, but we definitely prioritize our direct booking website. So the PMS is where everything is stored. It's where we can manage the business remotely wherever we are in the world. And that really gives us the insight that we need to basically be able to drive the business forward. All right, now let me show you one of my favorite parts of the property. It might be small, but it's a lot of fun. It's our corner store. So this is a little store that we converted from a garage. So yeah, this was just a 2-car garage. We chopped it up, we cut it in half, we put a laundry facility on one side, and we put a little store on the other side. It's not only a place where people can go get drinks and ice cream bars and snacks, but it's also where people can go get souvenirs. And those souvenirs not only are something that people really want to take away when they stay at a place like this, but it also is then a walking advertisement for us when they go out back home to their cities and their towns. They can talk about the experience that they had at the Rex. The great thing about this is that it uses the same technology for the door system. So the lock code that they have for their room work for this store. And that means that only guests can come in. And because we don't have any staff, we're able to make it self-checkout technology that allows us to have high margins because frankly, with 10 units, there would be no way to staff a store this small. The great thing about this store is that it really is super easy to run and manage. Right now, we need to restock some of the apparel because believe it or not, this actually sells really well. People that stay here, they love to come in here, grab a Rex, I have a Rex shirt on, we have Rex hoodies, we make hats as well. Looks like the hats are actually sold out. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity for us when it comes to a few 100-square-foot space, actually 200-square-foot space, to generate a nice income off of the guest, the captive audience that's already here. I'd say that most places, most small properties would never think about doing a store, but by using self-checkout technology, there's really no excuse not to, because as long as you trust your guests, you can have them take care of themselves. We've learned so much over the last 3 years of running this, but the one thing that we actually think is the most profound part of it all is that as long as you create an amazing experience where families, where couples, where friends want to come to, it doesn't matter if you're near a city or near a national park, you just have to create an experience that is noteworthy and memorable and something that people want to talk about. There's also an opportunity all over this country to revitalize old properties that are near state parks or other smaller attractions because people are always looking for an adventure. People are always looking for something to explore. And that's what we did here at the Rex Hotel. And that's what I think we can do in so many other markets. And if you're interested in this, you can like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you on the other video.